Hi, my name is Wyatt, and welcome to the very first episode of Pink Lemonade.
Alright, what's up everybody? Welcome to the first ever episode of Pink Lemonade. Today I'm here with my high school friend, just Wyatt Whisenhunt. I'm gonna let him tell you guys a little bit about himself.
Hi, I'm Wyatt, and a few things about me. I'm a senior in high school. I'm about to graduate. I'm leaning towards playing soccer in college. I think I have a school that I'd like to commit to. I work on projects in my off time. I have a channel called Wyatt Reacts. The link should be down in the description. And yeah, that's a little bit about me.
Alright, so yeah, like I said before, I've known Wyatt since probably like the beginning of my high school, beginning of his high school career as well. Yeah, we've been close friends ever since. And today we have the first ever episode of Pink Lemonade. So how do you feel? Are you excited?
Yeah, I'm super excited.
I'm very excited to talk to you guys about this because this is something that I've grown with since I began high school. Like ever since soccer team started, I've grown with this. We've all became a part of this trend. And what we're going to be talking today is the new urban dictionary. And it's a very crazy and creative thing that many people once they see us or once they hear us using these words, they're always like, what the heck does that mean? Or like, what is that? What are you talking about? Like, nobody knows what we're talking about. So today I have these words down and we're going to be explaining to you guys exactly what and how they came about and why this is a thing between the soccer team and how this is going to get people to understand what we mean now, because everybody usually asks us what the heck are you talking about? And today, we're going to be doing this all while drinking pink lemonade. I'm going to go ahead and pour our first cups. While we're doing this, we're going to keep track of how many cups Wyatt can drink for the high score chart. I'll pour his.
Yeah, and I'm going to set the bar high, so whoever's on here next is going to have a hard time keeping up.
The next guest will have to beat the high score that Wyatt sets, so make sure that you guys... He's already going first. You guys are always keeping it. We're going to start off with some questions really fast on this podcast. Just to get to know who Wyatt is as a person, to get to know what inspires him and who he likes to do. Like I said, this is a podcast all about sharing positivity, sharing good thoughts. So we're going to start out fast and we're going to say, quickly, what do you think inspires you as a person?
I'd say what inspires me is knowing that I'm leaving behind a legacy for myself. I like to have a name for myself, to define who I am. One thing that I would say is with YouTube, when somebody takes the time out of their day to watch your videos, that's something that definitely inspires me because everyone has such a busy schedule. It's really inspiring to me.
All right, yeah, definitely understand that when you go out and try to do the creative field, it's hard to find inspiration within other people. It's more of finding inspiration with other things. So to have people inspire you as a whole is a good answer. So when did you actually realize that this is something that you wanted to do, speaking about soccer or speaking about creating? When did you realize that this is actually what you wanted to follow?
Soccer is actually a funny story. I was in Illinois a couple years back before my sophomore year. I had no idea I was going to play soccer. And while I was in Illinois, I was up there for about a month with my grandparents. I kept in touch with one of my buddies who plays soccer. Some of you guys from the US should know him if you're close to me. Anyway, so we kept in touch over and over, and then he decided that he would like me to play soccer because we were super close at the time. And so eventually I made the decision to try. I had never played soccer a day in my life. I went on the field, and I've been playing ever since. Definitely seen a lot of improvement, and I can't wait to see what happens in the future.
So you said that you had never touched a soccer ball before that.
Never.
How was it to go out and what were people's reactions to you, coming out to a soccer team and never knowing, how people are going to react? How did you feel knowing that you had never touched a soccer ball?
I was some cheeks, dude. To start out, I was awful, and I was so nervous to go out there because people are so judgmental, especially in high school.
Yeah.
And so everyone was super supportive of me at the beginning, even though they knew I was buns. So, keep
in mind, all these words that you're saying now we'll be touching here in a second. These are words that we're talking about and that you guys will have to kind of just listen into. One more question before we start actually speaking about what these words mean and what the new urban dictionary is about. If you were president of the United States, what is the first thing that you would do? Just a random fun thing.
You know what I do. The first thing I do, I'd like to say I'd end world hunger, but the first thing I'd probably do is buy a new car. As president of the United States.
You'd buy a new car. All right, everybody has a different answer. That's good.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and dive into these words. I'll throw them up on the screen as we're talking, so you guys can kind of see how it's spelled, how you visually see the word. I'll throw it up on the screen for you guys. We're going to start with the New Urban Dictionary. And all these words, keep in mind, are self-created by us. They're already words, but they're used in a different sense to where you don't really know like what we're talking about. Like it's hard to describe. We're gonna go ahead and try our best to get Wyatt to describe to us how this started. We're gonna begin with the word cheese. What exactly does cheese mean, and can you use it in a sentence for us so you can explain better to the viewers what exactly it means to cheese?
Okay, cheese. I don't know how it got started within the soccer team, to be honest with you, but it did. Really, it started with me and a friend of mine, Braden, back in like 6th or 7th grade. It's actually a 2K term, NBA 2K. I don't know if you guys know about it, but if you do, that's where the term came from. And basically, what we use the term cheese for is if something is good, or if somebody looks funny. We might use the terminology cheese, like, oh dude, that guy looks cheese. You know, there's no like one definition for it. It's like if you know, you know. You know what I mean? It's one of those type of things.
Yeah. So pretty much what I guess what I'm taking from it is like if somebody is cool looking or funny looking, instead of saying straight up you're funny looking, you're cool, we say that guy's cheese.
That guy looks cheese. That looks cheese. Like
and
that.
there's always a strong emphasis on words. All these words that I'm about to read, they're always used with a strong emphasis. So it's always more of it draws the attention to the whole sentence because of the way we emphasize the word.
It wouldn't be like that guy looks cheese. It'd be like that guy looks cheese.
And it's always like that every time. Another word that I got written down here that I've heard a lot, finesse. I know that this is a word. I know that some people really hate the sound of this word, but what does it mean to be finesse, or what does finesse mean to the soccer team?
Oh, okay. So there's multiple definitions I've heard for finesse. We've been using this word for years. So
in the most appropriate way, what does finesse mean?
Okay, well, I'm gonna give you guys 2 rundowns. I'm gonna give you the appropriate way and the inappropriate way. So do with it what you please. The appropriate way to finesse is like, say that you stole somebody's spot. Like if you guys were sitting in a car and you took their spot, be like, oh yeah, dude, I finessed that spot. Alright, you know what I mean? But the way that I hear it tossed around the most is like in a sexual way, like, oh dude, I finessed her, like, you know, I don't know how to, and I'm trying to think of a better term, but basically it means I her.
Oh Jesus Christ!
Like if you say I finessed her. So that's really the only way to say it. I mean, that's really
it's another word for the F word, I guess.
It really is. If you hear it used in context, like say, "Oh, dude, I finessed," like that. This is another context.
It kind of gives it away. These next 2 words are kind of twins to each other. I think they both, from what I've heard, from how long I've been around the soccer team, I think they both mean almost exactly the same thing. The word utter and rink, and like I said, we'll throw these words up on the screen. They should be up somewhere. What is the definition of utter and rink, or is there a difference between both of these?
When you say utter around somebody, they're like, what the hell are you talking about, man? Utter basically means like disgusting, like it's like something's trash. Yeah. You say, oh dude, that's so utter, that means like that's not good, that's bad. And rank, I mean, is along the same lines. I mean, or like if something smells terrible, you're like, oh dude, that's so rank. Or yeah, you know, there's not a lot of a difference.
So ultimately, it's pretty much the same definition for both, in a sense. Like it both means like disgusting or like
garbage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, utter and rank. What a great 2 words.
What a combo. Dynamic duo.
Alright, next thing we have, I do have this written down because I've heard this quite a bit. The team tends to say things that are exactly the opposite of what is happening. So, for example, like I could be sitting here and talking to Wyatt like I am now, and I could be, I could say, you said that you weren't just sitting here talking to me, and like it's the exact opposite of what's happening. And some people are like, that makes no sense. Why do you do that? Why is that even a thing? To us, it's just like a troll thing. Like it's funny. It's funny to say like the exact opposite of what you're doing just to make the other person like react.
You said this wasn't a podcast.
Just like that. So what do you think is the reason that we say you said that followed by the exact opposite of what we're doing?
I don't even know where that one started, to be honest. Matias, okay, honestly, at first it started with more logical things. Like, we'd say, like, you said you didn't like something, even though we knew they liked it, so it was, like, no big deal. But then this guy started like there's like a blue couch over here. He'd be like, "Oh, you said that couch wasn't blue?" Or he'd be like, "Oh, you said I'm not wearing it." You'd be like, "Oh, you said I'm not wearing a white shirt right now?"
Yeah.
You're like, "What the hell are you talking about, bro?"
It's more of a like do it on purpose to make the other person like react is what I
Yeah.
do with it.
I'll say to someone random who look at me like, "What?"
Yeah.
I am doing that.
Another thing is like when we go out in public, a lot of people aren't used to it, so we'll be talking about this stuff in public, or we'll be saying like all these words in public, and the looks we'll get from people like are really different. They're like not used to hearing somebody get called trash or disgusting
Or
and
worthless.
like or worthless. But like to us, like I know that this is a podcast about sharing positivity, and like this, keep in mind, this is not something that is used in a way to like a negatory way. Like this is just the team. Everybody has their own jokes. Like every team has their own like things that they build within each other. This is ours. This is our inside jokes. This whole new Urban Dictionary that we created since we started this. Yeah. So we go out in public and like we hear people or we hear ourselves talking like this. We like sometimes we catch ourselves and we notice that there's people around us and like you need another one. We'll mark the first cup down for Wyatt. We'll catch ourselves kind of saying these things in front of people, and then we'll like slowly realize like, oh, we just said that in front of this person. This person kind of reacted. So it's always funny to see how people react to hearing this in public. Another question after that is the whole emphasis on words. Like we know that when we say these things, there's always a big emphasis, and that always like sticks out to everybody who's like not used to this. It's always like the reason it sticks out. What is the reason that we put emphasis on words? Is there like a specific reason?
Sounds funny.
Sounds funny. I think that's it. I think that's about right. The whole trying to sound, put the humor in it, I think is why we go with the whole emphasis.
We'll take the word "oh" and then we'll make it like "oh."
Yeah, it's a lot of emphasis. Like I think that what makes these words special and makes these words outstanding to people is the whole emphasis that we put on each one of these words. The emphasis on O, like there's 10,000 different ways that we emphasize O, and like it's just O-O-H pretty much. While Wire's filling up his third cup, where he's going for his third. So yeah, with that being said, we have a couple other questions for Mr. Wyatt. As we're counting the drinks, he's on his third cup right now. Tell us a little bit about you as in your projects and what you plan to do after high school. I know you're a senior in high school, is that right?
Yes.
So what are your thoughts and what are your plans to do after high school? Is there anything that you got?
Yeah, I plan to study journalism, which you know this, most of the stuff, so I'm going to be more talking to the viewers. I plan to study journalism and theater. My dream is to become a director. But if that's not successful, I'd like to be a sports journalist, more so a columnist. So I like to write, for sports. And like a project I'm working on also right now, I have a short film. I wrote the script for it, but I haven't started yet. It's called Can You Imagine? I love the story. I've shared it with several people, and they all enjoy it. So I think I'm going to get started with the project as soon as I can. It's probably going to be a summertime deal, so that'll be good.
I noticed you said sports journalist, and I noticed you're wearing a LeBron jersey right now. What are your thoughts on, just a random question, what are your thoughts on LeBron James and how the whole debate, Michael Jordan, LeBron James, is there your side of it? What do you think?
Oh, I was hoping you'd ask that. See, I believe that LeBron James is the greatest player to ever touch a basketball, and all of you guys can come in the comment section and at me. I don't care. I will argue with every single one of you that there's nothing that Michael Jordan is better at than LeBron besides free throw shooting. And people say, recently LeBron just passed Michael Jordan in all-time points. Well, it took LeBron 1,000 less shots. People say, oh, he took 3,000 more threes. Well, why wouldn't you if you're a better three-point shooter? I'm sorry. I'm like super passionate.
Yeah, we know that sparking Wyatt on any sports, or LeBron more should I say, sparking him on LeBron topics is gonna last probably forever. We could last forever here speaking about that. I have my opinion. I'm obviously not gonna state it on here because it's gonna start a huge spark. I respect his opinion for LeBron. A couple more questions here for you, Mr. Wyatt. We have. What are some things in today's society, like knowing that today is a hard society to live in, a hard society to kind of associate with, especially if you're one of those people who firmly believes that being different is the way to go compared to what society wants you to be. What are some things in today's society that you can look at and think, wow, I could sip some pink lemonade to it. Like, what do you think that you could just grab a jar of lemonade and sip to it as in being it something that you could really respect, something that's good? What are some things?
Something that's good. I think that I like the way the economy is shifting. I think even though there's a lot of diversity and a lot of split in the country, I think that people are also finding a way to come together towards one common enemy. I believe that there's a lot of good, you just have to find it. Like the way that communities come together after big events just makes me sit back and think, believe that there's really still true good in society. And that's definitely something that I'd answer that with.
Okay. So that definitely makes sense. The way that our economy is shifting in for bettering rather than for
togetherness in the community.
Yeah,
I like that a lot.
I can agree with that. I'm going for my 4th jar of lemonade. I've been kind of drinking a bit more than Wyatt. Wyatt's on his 4th now.
Oh, about to smack it.
And
that's another word, smack. Like if you smack something.
Yeah, definitely.
Means like I clap them cheeks. You know what I'm saying?
Another word, yeah, like cheeks. Like cheeks is used in a way that I think I don't know if you want to explain it. Like, what do you think cheeks is?
Like ass cheeks at something.
You're pretty much bad. You're bad at something. You're
tits.
Yeah, another thing. You're just tits. These are things that have no real reason and like no real rhyme with what it actually means. It's just kind of used and somehow it means that. It's hard to explain those things.
There's a noise that was left out that the team makes. And people are like, what is that? It goes a little something like this, alright?
It's definitely nothing pleasing to the ear for sure.
No, it's bad. If
you know, like if you've been around the soccer team, if you know the soccer team, if you know who we are, you'll definitely hear these noises randomly. Like if you hear these noises, you know we're there. You know that's how we show that. All right, the team's here. Like we just walk up to an event and do that, and that's kind of how it works. All right. To kind of finish off, I have a few other last questions. It's been a great first episode with us. Thank you, Wyatt, for coming on here. I definitely have a couple more questions. One of them is, why exactly do you smile? And keep in mind that this is the reason that I'm doing this. This is the reason why Pink Lemonade is coming to about, is to know and to share the positivity with other people and to share positivity with those who might need to hear it. And I'm just curious, like, why does Wyatt Whisenhunt smile? Why is it that you smile?
I think that pride, confidence, big reason I smile. I find pride in a lot of things. Pride in my country. Pride in the situation, the people that are around me. I love the people that are around me. I love the group that I've been able to involve myself with throughout high school. There's just a lot I take pride in. I think that makes me smile a lot. Apple makes me smile. Nah, just I definitely take a lot of pride in where I come from, and I think that I'll carry that with me in the future, and that definitely makes me smile. So
for sure. For another question, we have I'm gonna throw it up on the screen here. We have a playlist that we created for every guest on the show, and this is something that I'm going to be starting to do since the beginning. Since this is the first song that will be added to the playlist. I'm going to let Wyatt add this song, and he's going to go ahead and tell us. You have a couple minutes to think about which song you want to add while I explain. Pretty much this playlist that you're going to see on the screen now is hosted. It's pretty much created by me, the creator of Pink Lemonade. Every guest that comes on here will give us at the end of the show, will give us their one song that they think the world would enjoy, the world needs to hear. And so you guys as the viewers, you guys as the audience will get to go and listen to this whole playlist and listen to everybody's song as a whole, so you can kind of like hear what everybody else kind of like listen to, and and yeah, so like I'm gonna ask you, like, if you had one song to add to this playlist, which you will be adding to this playlist that I'll throw up here on the screen, what is the one song that you think the world needs to hear, that one song that you are willing to share with the world and that will be added to this playlist?
So a meaningful song?
Really can be anything, like anything in the world, whatever you feel like needs to be shared with the world. This is Wyatt Whisenhunt adding to the playlist, so this is you in any song. It could be the most, the funniest song you can think of, it could be the most meaningful song you can think of, whatever you want to do. This is all about like you adding a song.
I was gonna add a random song that I thought sounded good, but honestly, a song that helped me a lot when I was struggling. Like I used to struggle through depression before high school, like in my first years of high school. The song that helped me a lot is "Going Through Changes" by Eminem.
Going Through Changes by Eminem. We'll for sure add this to the playlist here. Like I said, you guys are more than welcome to go in. I will leave a link to the playlist down below. I also will leave a link to Wyatt's social medias, Wyatt's YouTube channel. You guys can go. Please make sure to go follow our first guest on Pink Lemonade. Also, like I said, I'll leave all the Pink Lemonade links down below. Wyatt is on your fifth cup, correct?
Yep.
And while we see how many more Wyatt can fit in his system, we have a little last thing while you're over here. You need another one? We're going for a 6. This is Wyatt's 6th cup, guys. 6 cups of Pink Lemonade. I think that's a pretty good start. I don't know how much he's got left in him, but we're gonna end. We always end this Pink Lemonade podcast. I have a thing called a sip of inspiration, and what you do pretty much is you're gonna tell us what you would share with the world to inspire other people. What is your words of inspiration to everybody who might need it, all the viewers, all the audience that might need to hear something for the better of their own life, something that could inspire other people? What is your sip of inspiration for them?
I would say I started playing soccer my sophomore year. I know people have been playing their entire life, and I'm about to go to college with a scholarship right now. Like, you can do anything you set your mind to, honestly. As long as you actually set your mind to it and you stick through it, in the end, you can achieve your goals. And I truly believe that with all my heart. I mean, some people don't believe it, and some people don't have as much luck. I mean, I've been very lucky to be in the situation I've been in, be provided the things I've been provided, and I'm very thankful for that. But, you know, I do believe that people can achieve their goals, and that is my sip of inspiration.
Definitely agree with that. Like I said, again, thank you, Wyatt, for being on the show. Thank you for being the first host, or the first guest on the show. Really, this is the start of something brand new for me. I've never been anything to do with podcasts. I definitely wanted to look into it, wanted to try. You guys know more about sharing positivity, so this is what I'm going to do with this podcast. Always have a new guest on every episode and try to share that positivity from them, and get like everybody's creators-wise visions, everybody's different things shared on the show for you guys. And as always, like, main goal, try to share positivity, try to share good thoughts with everybody. We have our lemons here. Any last words for the cameras? You have the audience right there. Anything you want to say?
Man, there is a lot I'd like to say, but for now I'm just going to leave it at LeBron James is the GOAT.
LeBron James is the GOAT is the last words that Wyatt has for the podcast. As he drank a record of...
Why Reacts
drank a record of how many cups?
6.
6 cups. 6 cups of Pink Lemonade for Wyatt Whisenhunt. That is all we got for you guys today. Thank you guys for tuning in. The record is now 6. It is set at 6. Could have been a little higher, but that's what we set it at. That's all we got. Thank you, Wyatt. Again, put it up in the air. That's it for you guys. See you guys later.
Mike Wazowski. Mike Wazowski, the one and only green little monster. That's what we've set so many of our sights on as a team, as a unit, and we even had a soccer club named Wazowski FC. So I mean, that's something that we forgot to tell you guys. And so I'm sure it'll be somewhere in the video. But Mike Wazowski.
Yeah.